Okay, let's do it live. We're streaming on Leechus on YouTube. I'm gonna search for a 1510 game, and I'll be drawing arrows. I'll be annotating my game. Let me just check the audio levels. Okay. So yeah, I'm currently waiting for a game, and yeah, my rating is actually quite low. And check out my profile here. So it turns out that my rapid's only 2125. It's almost as low as it's ever been. Maybe. But the thing is, I haven't been taking the games that seriously. 'Cause I usually watch YouTube while I'm playing, but let's start this game. We'll open with the king's pawn. My opponent is 2050, so this theoretically should be a total blowout. Because really, I think my rating should be around 2300. I mean, I've had it there before. It's just that I didn't take the game seriously and just lost a lot of games. So this is really interesting. He played pawn to e5. This is very unusual because he started with what looked like a Caro-Kann. Now, if I take this pawn, I guess he has queen a5 check, and he can recapture. But after that, I think he's losing some time because I can play knight f3 and attack his queen. He can take my e pawn, but the question is, does he really want to do that? He still can lose time with knight c3. So my real question is, if I take this pawn and he takes on e5, I could try knight c3 to defend d4 and get the knight f3 tempo. But he has bishop b4, which is a little annoying. Maybe I could try knight d2 to win the tempo. Or maybe bishop d3. Bishop d3 actually looks like it might win the tempo, and then I can play knight f3. And I'll have very quick development. So I'm going to try this. So yeah, he's going to play queen e5. You know, I didn't even realize that when I was calculating this, I didn't even realize I was going to get an extra tempo anyways. So it looks like I can just play knight c3, and then I can just play knight f3. So let me go ahead and play knight f3 here. Attacking the queen and winning a tempo. I've actually won several tempos, I think. So yeah, maybe queen e7. Okay, so he blocked the bishop, and it's going to slow down his development a little bit. I could play bishop g5, f6, if I want to weaken his kingside a bit. And then it's going to be a little bit tougher to castle kingside after bishop c4. So I'm going to go ahead and play bishop g5. I don't think he wants to play knight f6. So now I'll play bishop f4. And potentially I could go into d6 if he moves his queen to d8 or something. I could play bishop d6. I can still play bishop c4. The only thing I'm worried about is after bishop c4, b5, b4. Gotta watch out for that. But on the whole, I'm pretty happy with what's happening here. I can't play bishop d6 right away, but I think, you know, maybe I'll play a4, and then I can play bishop c4 without having to worry about b5. I'm going to see if the stream is actually running right now. Let's see here. Channel dashboard. Content. Live. Okay, we are live. So he played d6. Now this is going to be weak pretty much forever. He can't really play d5 because I have control of that square. I don't know what would have happened if he would have played d5. I guess bishop d3, but So I can play bishop c4, but I'm still worried about b5, b4, and then he can take this e-pawn. So I may play a4. Just stop e5. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. And then my next move will be bishop c4, but he stopped it, so maybe I made a mistake there, but I guess I can play bishop d3. That seems to be good enough. Maybe I can also try queen d2, rook d1, just try to win this d-pawn. But he could play d5 maybe. I'm going to play bishop d3 and just get castled. I can play knight d4 now, actually. And if he plays bishop f7, I have knight f5, winning this pawn. So I can play knight d4 and probably just win the bishop pair right now. So I'll go ahead and play knight d4, attacking its bishop. So he's played knight c5, he's attacking my bishop, but I'll go ahead and take his. I guess he can take with check, but it helps me develop. I'm going to go ahead and castle. Maybe I'll even play b4 just to force him to take there. It's not that I really want him to take my bishop, but it does help me quickly develop with queen d3, rook d1. Now he's castled queenside, so that seems kind of risky. So I'm thinking b4, knight takes, queen takes. Not sure I get enough out of that though, but it seems okay. I guess my alternative would be bishop e2, but he can take on e4. I don't really get bishop g4 because of f5. I'll go ahead and play b4. I'll just see what happens here. Maybe I can play b5 to rip open the queen side a bit. Maybe rook b1. Or maybe even just a5, a6. Just to pry open the king side there, the queen side. It's actually really dangerous for him because if he ever plays d5, then he's got this diagonal to deal with. And so after b5, he doesn't really want me to take on c6. I can come in with queen a6, just a strong attack. So if I play b5, he's almost got to play c5, but then d5 will be a square my knight can use. He does lock up the position in that variation, but maybe I can play b5, b6. I think I may just want to play though a5, and then I'm assuming he'll have to play a6. Okay, now he's attacked my bishop, but I think bishop e3 is good, attacking this pawn. Maybe queen d4, c5. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play b5. I'm assuming he'll play c5. And knight d5. Or b6. b6 does look good, huh? b6, a6. I'm not sure. Maybe I want to play a5, a6 and force him to play b6. Then this whole diagonal is open. I think what I'm going to do is play b6 and then go knight d5, knight c7. Maybe sack on a6 actually. And then there'll be some threats here. So yeah, I can play knight c7 with tempo. I'm assuming he's going to play knight e7 here, knight c7. And then I think I can just sack because I don't know if he can get back in time, but maybe I'm wrong. He could play queen d7, I guess. Maybe there's an improved way of playing this. Maybe I can play rook b1 first. Now it's tempting to play f4 here. It's tempting to play f4, but yeah, I really want to break through on the queen side, but I just don't see it. I guess I can just take on c5 right now. And he can't recapture. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Then I can push the c pawn up and just pry open the d-file. Maybe I can just drop this bishop back to d4 and just put some pressure on this diagonal and then play c5, c4, c5. And this the b pawn being defended is a little bit better, I guess. So he played knight h6. I'm just going to go ahead and drop the bishop back to d4. He can't play f5 now. I'm even thinking of swinging the rook over to the d file to b file. He played knight g4. I'm not really sure what he's getting at. f4 is starting to look even more good, I guess. I can open this f file. f4, pawn takes, rook takes, knight here, bishop takes, and he loses a piece. Yeah, I like f4. It just stops him from playing knight e5. So now I think h3 just traps his knight. He can't go to e3, he can't go to f2 or h2, he can't go to e5, and he can't go to h6, so this knight is trapped. Let's go ahead. I think I can take the knight. That's a little tricky because if I take this knight, he takes back. There's a bit of danger on the h file. So I do have to be a bit careful here. But if I don't take the knight, I'm probably not going to enjoy that. He has 95. So if I take this, I can play king f2 and try to run, but it doesn't look very good. So I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I guess I really have no choice. I've got to take there. I'm going to play king f2. And then I guess I can play rook h1. It should be okay, I think. I do have to worry about this diagonal. But if I play king e2, king d2, f3 may not be that damaging. Maybe I can retreat to c3. So bishop g5, good move, I guess. Go ahead and play rook h1, I guess. Stop his queen from coming in. So I'm up a piece. Yeah, king e2. The king can just scoot over to c3, and it should be pretty safe. The knight's closing down the c file. The king can come to b2 if necessary. And the only real thing to worry about is if he's playing something with these pawns, but I don't really see it. He can play f3, I can take g3, I guess. Maybe that's a little bit dangerous. f3, pawn takes g3. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. So yeah, f3, pawn takes g3. I guess he's not really going to queen because I have so much defensive g1. So maybe it's really not that dangerous. So I'm not sure what he's thinking about, but I'm just thinking of moving my king over to c3. I'm thinking about this knight sack, but I don't see a way to make it work. Maybe rook b1 will increase the danger here. I can follow up with queen a7, perhaps, take back with his pawn. And then have like a b file attack, but... So he plays queen h5. Of course, king d2 is necessary. And he's now pinned himself, but he can step out of the pin easily enough. So maybe he'll play queen g5, king c3. And he really has no check. I guess he has queen a5 check. But then after king b3, he has no further checks. The b6 pawn is defended. And I could either threaten to trade queens or... Okay, so he didn't play queen g5, he played queen h6, so now he has no further checks over here on the queen side. I'm still just a little bit worried about the fact that these pawns are so far advanced. f3, pawn takes g3 is possible. g3 I guess isn't really good because it just gets these pawns stuck. Okay, queen g5, maybe he wants to check me, but I'm not worried about it. Maybe now I can sack. Knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Looks very dangerous. He has no checks. If I take this, if he takes, he loses. So I take here. The only check he has is rook c8 actually. And king b3. I don't think there's any more checks. Queen g8, I guess. So maybe I should play king b2. King b2, so something knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes. And rook c8, king b2. I don't see how he's going to survive, so I'll go ahead and play knight takes. And if he does play king a8, I can just hop the knight back. Okay, let's see what he tries. I don't think there's any defense. I mean, actually, maybe I've misevaluated this. I thought I could play queen a7, but I just realized that these rooks can actually defend on the 7th. maybe I'm still winning, but for some reason I completely misvaluated this. I thought I was going to be threatening Queen A7, but I kind of miscalculated. I didn't really realize the knight was going to be gone, so the second rank was going to be defendable. But you know, maybe I'm still winning because first of all, I've just sacrificed some material back. I'm still up a pawn, and I do have these pawns right in his face here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do though. Maybe play b7. I have to be a little bit careful because this rook is active. Okay, so he played queen g7, trying to defend the second. I'm actually thinking just pushing this a pawn, and then I can drop this queen back and push a6. I don't think he's going to survive these pawns. See, I'm going to go ahead and play a5 with the idea of queen b5. If he plays queen d7, maybe I'll play queen d3 with the idea of just pushing this a pawn and just, I feel like he's just not going to survive that. I can play a7 check. I can play b7 and then a6. So there's a lot of threats here. And the opponent is Zavadablu. And so I'm feeling pretty good about the game. Queen d3, I think I can play. a6, and then maybe just b7, queen d3, a6, a7, maybe. But he can go to a8, so maybe not. But I think a6, b7 has got to be good. And then, there's got to be something. I don't really see it yet. Queen d3, a6. Maybe just leave the pawns there and just try to attack somehow. If I could open this diagonal. Okay, he played queen b7. I'm going to go ahead and play queen d3. Defending this pawn and preparing a6. I think I'm slightly worried about rook on c e8. So I can't play rook e1. I mean, I could, but I'm not sure I want to drop an exchange. So if he plays rook on cd8, maybe I could play a6. Just not sure if I have a threat with these pawns yet. So d5, should probably play a6. If I play a6 though and he intermezzos, I guess I can just take his queen and take his rook. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play a6. There's got to be just some threat from b7 or a7. I just don't see it yet. Maybe a7. King b7 fails to queen a6, I guess. Maybe. b7 attacks the rook. Rook c7. And it would be really nice if I could play queen b3 and then b7. Then I can play a7, and that'll be mate actually. So yeah, I'm gonna play queen b3, I think. So now if I play b7, I'm threatening a7. So b7 would be really dangerous. b7, a7. That's well, it's not actually mate, but it flushes king out, and then I can queen with check. So we took the pawn. I'll go ahead and play b7, and if I am correct in my calculations, I should be doing good. Just a7, king c7, b7, rook takes, pawn takes, rook takes. I've won a rook. I have rook a7 as well, so I don't see him surviving this. Also, this bishop would drop as well. And I guess even something like queen f7 is possible. He would have to play king d6, and then yeah, I don't see the KO blow, but it's pretty dangerous. And it looks like I have slightly miscalculated. I didn't realize I was going to lose my queen here. I can still pick up his bishop, and I've got more material than him. But it is a little shaky with these pawns so far advanced. I can throw in a check here. Yeah, it looks... I would say it looks pretty dangerous for him because I'm just going to have a lot of material. 2 rooks and a bishop. He won't have a check. Just take this bishop. Take the queen, take the rook back, and threatening rook h8 right now. And I guess the only way to stop it is queen e8, but then I can win his queen, so I don't think he can defend. King b8 isn't going to work because the rook is defended. So yeah, I think he's in deep trouble. So pretty good game, and it was actually pretty fun. Let's look at the game again real quick. e5, I don't think I've ever seen that move, but it's probably not very good. Okay, so he did play queen e8, but like I said, I can win this queen here, and the game is over. You just start taking all these pawns, and there's nothing you can do about it. Time to resign. Yep. Okay, so short stream today. I'm gonna log out, but you can rewatch the stream if you just got here. But anyways, peace out. See ya.